Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Bookmas Day 3. In this video, we are going to be talking about all the books that I want to read this winter. Now, I know I just made a December TBR. Into the new year, I do want to try making monthly TBRs along with seasonal TBRs and see if I can keep up, especially with the small amount of books that I read each month. We'll see how making monthly TBRs go. But I do want to stick to seasonal TBR, so that's why we are going to be doing a winter TBR. In my fall TBR, I had a total of 10 books, and based on that experience, I found that I did not have enough wiggle room where I can choose a book that's not on my fall TBR to read, and I was pretty much strict on my fall TBR. It didn't give me enough freedom for me to choose other books that's outside of my fall TBR, and based on my October reading month, I had to softy enough a book because I wasn't in the mood for it and pick up a book that was totally outside of my fall TBR. Based on my fall TBR, I have learned a couple of things, what worked for me, what didn't. And in this winter TBR, I am going to have a total of 5 books. So I include December, January, and February in my winter TBR. And so in December, usually it's the time where I want to read books that I want to finish before the new year or books that I'm in the middle of. But in the off chance that I can get to these books in December, that's why it's here. So let's get started. Let's see what's on my winter TBR. First, we're going to start with a series. And this series has been on my TBR ever since the book was released. The series I'm going to be talking about is the Empyrean series. So this is a Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm. This is very, very ambitious. I don't even know if I can read all these books. I know I can read one, but all 3, especially the size of this, I really don't know. But you know what? We're gonna try. We're gonna try to read the Empyrean series. I wanted to pick up a Fourth Wing since the beginning of this year. It's actually on my 25 books of 2025, and clearly I have not gotten to it. We are going to make it a goal that it's going to be read this winter. So I don't know much about it, surprisingly, but what I do know is that it's about a dragon rider. I think our main protagonist goes to a dragon school to become a dragon rider. And that's all I know. So I know this is a romantasy, and I heard that it is more on the romance than the fantasy. I'm going in knowing that it's more of a romance than a fantasy in the romantasy genre. And I heard it was such a fast-paced read. So I'm very excited to read Fourth Wing. I'm thinking of reading this in January. So I'm not gonna start a new series in December, especially with how thick these books are. So we're gonna start this in January. So the second book is Iron Flame, and this is so thick. I wonder how many pages. There's 61 chapters. I see that there are 623 pages. I'm scared. I heard that not a lot of people liked Iron Flame, but there are maybe a handful of people that do and actually like it better than Fourth Wing. So I'm curious to see whether I'm team Fourth Wing or Iron Flame. And finally, the third book is Onyx Storm. I heard that this was even worse than Iron Flame, but then I also heard that it was good. So again, mixed reviews. So I'm curious to see where I land with actually this whole series. I actually purchased all these books from Book Outlet, so I saved a ton of money buying these hardbacks, and with the sprayed edges, I mean, I saved a ton of money. So that is the first series on my winter TBR, the first 3 knocked off out of the 5 books that I want to read this winter. The next book on my winter TBR is part of a duology, and I didn't include the second book because I don't own the second book, so I'm only going to be talking about the first book. And that is Divine Arrivals by Rebecca Ross. I had this on my shelf since 2023, and it's about time. It's about time to read Divine Arrivals. This is the first book in a duology. I'm not quite sure what the duology is called, but the first book is Divine Rivals, and the second one is Ruthless Vows. I heard amazing things about Divine Rivals, and with the second book, I actually heard that it wasn't as good as the first one, and that kind of deterred me from picking up Divine Rivals. But reading is subjective, maybe I might like it. So I decided to pick it up, just gonna go in and see for myself. So what I know about this book is that we have rival writers and they fall in love and they write letters to each other. But let's read the synopsis. When two young rival journalists find love through a magical connection, they must face the depths of hell in a war between gods to seal their fates forever. After centuries of sleep, the gods are warring again, but 18-year-old Iris Winnow just wants to hold her family together. Her mother is suffering from addiction and her brother is missing from the front lines. Her best bet is to win the columnist promotion at the Oath Gazette. To combat her worries, Iris writes letters to her brother and slips them beneath her wardrobe door, where they vanish into the hands of Roman Kit, her cold and handsome rival at the paper. When he anonymously writes Iris back, the two of them forge a connection that will follow Iris all the way to the front lines of battle. For her brother, the fates of mankind and love. Divine Rivals is an epic enemies to lovers fantasy novel filled with hope and heartbreak and the unparalleled power of love. Now, enemies to lovers, I do love that trope if it is done well. So in a fantasy setting, usually I do enjoy it. In a contemporary romance, it doesn't really work for me. I don't know why, but I feel that they're not really truly enemies unless there is a book that is a contemporary romance that has really good enemies to lovers. Let me know, because I would love to read it. That is Divine Rivals. I'm excited to read this, and I heard her writing was flowery, I think. So that's what I'm kind of worried about. I like reading pretty simple writing, easy to read books. So we'll see how it goes, and yeah, it's about time. It's about time to read Divine Rivals. I'm gonna put all the books here. And the last book on my winter TBR is a standalone, and it's a romance. So that would fit very well in the month of February. So that's why I wanted to add a romance book into this. Wow, it's actually pretty heavy in the fantasy here. The last book on my winter TBR is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Fun fact, this is one of the oldest books on my Goodreads TBR. It's about time I picked this up too. I heard amazing things about this one as well, and I don't know why I haven't picked it up or started reading it. Maybe because it was very hyped up and I didn't want to fall into that hype, but now I feel like it's the time to read it, especially because I want to try Taylor Jenkins Reid again. So I did read One True Loves, and this was at the time where I was getting into reading, but I wasn't into romance. So I think I gave that one either a 3.5 star or a 4, but that was probably 2 years ago. So I want to see if I also feel the same way. So now that I am more into romance novels, I want to see if this is going to be one of my favorite reads, especially after reading A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, and that the synopsis reminded me of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I thought it was about time to read The 7 Husbands. Let's read the synopsis. Evelyn Hugo is the glamorous idol you admire, but she's also the relentless fighter you aspire to be. Her life story is heartbreaking yet beautiful and will keep readers captivated until the very last page. Oops, that's by US Weekly. So, reclusive Hollywood icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant to write her story, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. Determined to use this opportunity to jumpstart her career, Monique listens in fascination. From making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s, to leading show business in the 80s, and of course, the 7 husbands along the way, Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. But as Evelyn's story nears its conclusion, it becomes clear that her life intersects with Monique's own in tragic and irreversible ways. Written in Reid's signature talent for creating complex, likable characters, real simple, This is a mesmerizing journey through the splendor of old Hollywood into the sobering realities of the present day as two women struggle with what it means and what it costs to face the truth. Wow, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So I kind of want to read this sooner than later. So definitely going to read this in my winter TBR. That is all the books that I want to read this winter. Let me know if any of these books are on your TBR or if you have read any of these books. All these books are pretty hyped at some point in the past 2 years. So let me know what your thoughts are on these books if you have already read them or if they are on your TBR. I would love to know. And thank you for watching Bookmas Day 3. And I'll see you all in Bookmas Day 4. Bye!